Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Union County Performing Arts Center main stage. At this time, please silence all devices and turn your flashes off. Also, take note of our emergency exits, illuminated in red and located to your left, right, and behind you. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please make your way to one of these exits in a calm and orderly fashion. Our staff is here to assist you. Check out our website at ucpac.org for more information on our upcoming shows. Now, sit back, relax, and please welcome to the stage Rahway Council President, Mr. Jeff Brooks.
What's going on, Rahway? We almost got a packed house here. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the State of the City. My name is Jeff Brooks, Councilman at Large, and your Council President. On behalf of Mayor Giacobbe, the Rahway City Council, and the entire city of Rahway, we thank you for joining us tonight. It's wonderful to see so many residents, community leaders, partners, and friends gathered here tonight. And we truly have a great night ahead. At this time, I would like to invite the Reverend Anthony Mark Miller, Jr. from the Second Baptist Church of Rahway to stage for our invocation.
Good evening. Let us bow for a moment of prayer. Our God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, and our eternal home. Oh God, we thank you this evening, we the beloved community of Rahway. We thank you for the opportunity to even have this conversation. We thank you for the sacred opportunity that you've given us to approach your throne of grace to make our petitions known. As we bow tonight, we honor all those who have gathered to hear of the great work this city is doing. We honor our mayor, our steward of civic leadership, whose leadership calls us to imagine our city not just the way it is, but the way it is going to be. We honor our council members, our guardians of policy and progress, who do everything from debate to deliberate and ultimately decide with the weight of these neighborhoods on their shoulders. We are honoring our public servants. We are honoring our department heads. We honor all those who work in City Hall, those who are responsible for protecting our safety, those who are the cultivators of culture, the champions of our commerce. We thank you for all those who sacrifice and labor to make this city better each day. Most importantly, we are grateful for the citizens of this great city, those who are the lifeblood of this city, the families who arise early every morning, for every entrepreneur who's willing to take a risk, for every artist who's willing to shape imaginations, for every educator who's willing to shape minds, and most importantly, for every volunteer who works without an expectation of return. It is our prayer, God, that you would bless every corner of this city. It is our prayer that you would bless all our leaders. It is our prayer that you would bless those who have homes, those who do not have homes, those who worry where their next meal is going to come from. It is our prayer that you keep your hand on this city and, most importantly, your hand on this world. As we conclude, dear Father, we ask that you would have us ever remember the words of the poet Harriet Duartemont, who once eloquently said, "No vision and you perish, no ideal and you're lost. Your heart must ever cherish some hope at any cost. Some hope, some dream to cling to, some rainbow in the sky, some melody to sing to, some service that is high." This is our prayer in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Let's hear it for the Lord tonight. Thank you, Reverend Miller. That is a Second Baptist Church right on East Milton Avenue here in Rahway. Now, before we move on tonight, it's most important and very important that we honor our country. Now, I am proud to invite the Rahway High School Madrigals to stage to lead us into our national anthem, and the Rahway High School ROTC to present the colors. Everyone, please rise.
Color guard, on set, hunt, post. Carry. Go. Ready, two, present, rolling. Color guard, follow.
Thank you to our outstanding students for that meaningful and inspiring presentation. And I was gonna tell you guys to seat, but you guys are all seated, so very good. So tonight, we are honored to welcome a leader who hasn't just represented our region, he has championed it. As the 115th president of the New Jersey State Senate, he brings a voice to us in the 22nd District, straight to the heart of Trenton. From fighting for smarter insurance, to spearheading initiatives to put New Jersey families first. His work is felt in every corner of our state. Please join me in giving a warm Rahway welcome to a true advocate for our community, Senate President Nicholas Katari.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and to the City of Rahway, thank you so much for giving me a few moments to just say hello and congratulate the mayor on another wonderful year leading this great city. I'm here not just as a representative of the City of Rahway, but a good friend of Mayor Giacobbe, and I'm happy to support him. I want to give him a congratulations on a great year. But it's an honor and a privilege to represent this district along with my running mates, Rahway's own Jim Kennedy and Linda Carter, who are both here tonight. And to see so many friends here on the City Council, Council President Jeff Brooks, Vice Council President Jeremy Mojica, and all the members of Council, and to support the efforts that they do for Rahway each and every day. That's the job we take most seriously. Down in Trenton, I happen to be the President of the Senate, but here, I'm your representative. And whatever myself and Linda Carter and Jim Kennedy can do to support the mayor and council, that's what we're here to do. Along with the Speaker of the General Assembly, a good friend of ours, is also here, Craig Coughlin. Good to see you, Mr. Speaker. With his support and with their support, we've been able to establish and bring home money for this district. That's one of the most important jobs that we can do while there is it. And although we're entering a really, really austere budget phase, in the past we've been able to secure millions of dollars for specific projects here in the city of Rahway that go from security assistance to the train station infrastructure to Union County capital grant improvement opportunities that Rahway will be competing for and looking forward to. It's been my honor to attend many of these State of the Cities, and it's really an honor to represent the city of Rahway. I grew up right down the street. I remember when this was a theater, and some of you might remember when it was an X-rated theater, but I do. It's nice to come here and see that we've put it back to its really grandeur and luxury. We have a unified vision here for your representatives and for the city of Rahway, working with the council members and the Union County Board of Commissioners. It is truly an honor and pleasure to represent the city of Rahway. Whatever we can do to improve this downtown, to improve the lives of the residents, that was what we will do. I had dinner here on sub-zero temperature a couple of Saturdays ago. I didn't think anybody would be out, but the restaurants really had a lot of folks in it, and that is just a marvel that the city of Rahway has continued with its renaissance ever since Jim Kennedy was the mayor through the leadership of Ray Giacobbe. I want to say congratulations to the council and to the mayor for a continuing fine job, and also to continue work together with the commissioners and my running mates to do whatever we can. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you to our Senate President. You know, he's a very busy man, but he makes it his business to come to Rahway, and we're so blessed to have such a great relationship with our Senate President. So thank you so much, Senate President. I'm going to speak about looking ahead to 2026. And, you know, leadership and collaboration remain essential. Now, being elected council president is both an honor and a responsibility. One that reflects the trust of my council colleagues and our commitment to guiding a thoughtful leadership in progress. At this time, I would like to recognize my fellow council members. Please stand and be recognized. At council member at large, we have Council Vice President Jeremy Mojica. Please stand. To my right, but to his left, we have one of our favorites, Councilwoman Joanna Miles, everybody. Now let's go over into our first ward. This man is one of my fellow classmates, First Ward Council Member Al Montez de Oca. Montez de Oca, it's not that hard. Over in the second ward, we have the sweetest woman, Councilwoman Darlene Niesman. Now, before I became a council member, I used to nag this lady because she is my councilwoman in the third ward. We have my dear friend, Councilwoman Vannie Dolores Parson, everybody. Please stand up. This next gentleman needs no introduction. He's a legend himself, and so was his cowboy hat. we have none other than 4th Ward Councilman David Brown, everybody. I'm not sure where this next person is at. She might be working hard here somewhere, but this is one of my very good friends, very hardworking, the incredible 5th Ward Council member, Danny Newberry. You're supposed to stand up, Danny. You gotta follow instructions. Stop being a rebel. Last but certainly not least, he's one of my great friends. He's somebody that I think the whole city knows. He's an advocate, incredibly reliable, and a quiet warrior. 6th Ward Councilman Joe Jablisco. Thank you, guys. Now, we have a full and exciting program planned this evening. Throughout the night, we'll be presenting a handful of awards recognizing individuals and organizations who make a meaningful impact to our community. We will then enjoy a special performance from the Rahway High School Madrigals featuring a song from their play, Sweeney Todd. Tonight's State of the City is a reflection on Rahway's past, accomplishments, and a look ahead at the vision for the city's future. Our mayor, Raymond A. Giacobbe, will highlight the progress we made together by highlighting 6 essential pillars and share his future vision for where Rahway is headed next. With that being said, let's get started. I'm now invite my fellow council members, my dear friends, Councilman at Large Jeremy Mojica and Councilwoman Joanna Miles to the stage. Please join me.
Thank you, Council President Brooks. Another round of applause for Council President Brooks. Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor to be part of tonight's State of the City celebration. This evening, we are so excited to recognize individuals and organizations who make a lasting impact on our community through service, creativity, leadership, and dedication. You know what? I forgot to put on my glasses, but that means my eyes are getting better. So we'll be...
There we go. We'll be presenting 4 awards this evening, each one highlighting the people who make Rahway such a special place to live, work, and grow. Will all the awards recipients please join us on the stage?
Without further ado, our first award of this evening is a Senior of the Year award. This award recognizes a senior resident who contributes, and his contributions, volunteerism, commitment to our community have made a meaningful difference in the lives of others. This particular winner has lived in Rahway for over 30 years and holds the Knights of Columbus near and dear to his heart. 30 years, come on. By the activity contributing his time and efforts, he is an active member of the Columbian Club and is currently the president of the Rahway Retired Men's Club. It is my honor to present the Senior of the Year award to Joseph McCarty. Joseph, come on down.
Thank you, Jeremy. Our next award is the Artist of the Year Award, which celebrates creativity, expression, and the power of the arts to inspire, connect, and strengthen our community. This particular winner has been the director of the AGNJ and the Gallery Space and has made meaningful contributions to the city of Rahway for over 25 years. Some of his art is on display locally at Arts Fest, at Atelier Rosal, and other venues. Tonight, we proudly recognize Artist of the Year, Lawrence Capiello.
Our next honor is the Business of the Year Award. This award recognizes a local business that exemplifies excellence, innovation, and a deep-rooted commitment to Rahway's growth. The story of this establishment began in the 1980s, when music was better. When Lynn's father, Raymond, first purchased the property, laying the foundation for what would become a multi-generational legacy. Many of you know this place by the iconic mural of the fire truck and blazing flames on the St. George Avenue side, a tribute to the owner's father, Brendan's dad, a fireman in Ireland, and Lynn's father, a lifelong supporter of first responders. When Lynn and Brendan Keel officially looked over in 1990, their journey was not without its trials. It's a twist of irony. The original building was lost to a fire in 1993. Yet the Keels refused to back down. They used the setbacks as an opportunity to expand their vision, rebuilding with kitchen upgrades and a new banquet hall to better serve the city they love. Today, they are a beloved community staple known for hearty meals, great burgers, by the way, and a warm welcome, for their resilience and 4 decades of dedication to our city. 4 decades. It is my pleasure to announce the Business of the Year Award to the Firehouse Pub.
Congratulations, guys. We love it here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeremy. Our final award of the evening is for the Student of the Year Award. We have 1 recipient from the 7th and 8th grade academy and 1 recipient from Rahway High School as voted on by teachers and school administration. This award honors students who have demonstrated outstanding academic achievement, leadership, and a dedication to making a positive difference both in and out of the classroom. Please join me in congratulating our Students of the Year. From the 7th and 8th grade academy, Damien Jamoson. And from Rahway High School, Justin Gibson. I wish you both the very best in your future and your academic future. And thank you to your parents and your teachers as well who support you.
So I'm going to turn it over to Council President Brooks to finish out the remainder of our parts here. Thank you so much. Another round of applause to all our winners.
You know, I always say that we have a disproportionate amount of successful people coming out of the city of Rahway, and that proves it. Great job to all the honorees. You truly helped make Rahway special and strong. And we're going to continue tonight's program. So next we have the Rahway High School Mavericks will be performing a song from their play, Sweeney Todd. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage, the Rahway High School Mavericks.
Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. His skin was pale, his eye was odd. He shaved the faces of gentlemen who never thereafter were heard of again. trod a path that few had trod. Did Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street.
He kept a shop in London town, of fancy clients and good renown. And what if none of their souls were saved? They went to their maker impeccably shaved. By Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street.
Sweet was you and his room was bare.
Above a bow and a fancy chair, a sug of mud and a leather strap, an apron, a towel, and a pail and a mop.
For nature's heat deserves a god, the Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Sweeney was quick and quiet and clean. He was the back of his mind under his work. Sweeney heard music that nobody heard. Sweeney planned like a perfect machine. He was.
Sweeney was subtle, Sweeney would lick and rats would scuttle. Sweeney was smooth, Sweeney was subtle, Sweeney would lick and rats would scuttle. Sweeney was quick and quiet and like a wonderful Sweeney was Sweeney, 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 Sweeney.
Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. He served a dark and a vengeful God. What happened then? Well, that's the play, and he wouldn't want us to give it away. Not Sweeney. Not Sweeney Todd. The demon barber of Fleet Street.
Good evening, everyone. Big round of applause for these young ladies and gentlemen, please. It's not my time yet, but I want to come out and I want to invite Mr. Robert Van Wyk to the stage. So, Mr. Van Wyk was the recipient of the NJMEA Governor's Award. This award, that is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. Only one a year is given. This award is a statewide honor presented by the New Jersey Music Educators Association to recognize exceptional leadership, excellence, and lasting contributions to music education in New Jersey. Mr. Van Wyk, I want to thank you so much for all you do for our children and everything you do for our city. On behalf of myself and the Rahway City Council, we've prepared a proclamation in your honor, recognizing your achievements and thanking you for your commitment to our community and to our district. All right, I'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Yeah, the mayor couldn't help himself. No, but seriously, that's just a testament on the type of man and the type of leader that Mr. Van Wyk has been. So congratulations to him. Let's give him another round of applause. And let's give our student talent a round of applause. And if you thought that performance was amazing, and if you'd like to see the full play, The dates are March 13th and the 14th at 7:30 p.m. And there's always a Sunday performance, March 15th at 2 p.m. Yeah, I was in musical theater myself, so I know that. At the Rahway High School Performing Arts Center. Now, before our guest speaker introduces our mayor, I'd like to introduce some of our elected officials in attendance. And I have a list here somewhere, but there's certainly some people I recognize. I'm not sure if he's still here, but I do want to give a huge shout out to our Senate President, Nicholas Katari, one more time. Along with our Senate President, we have a very special guest, our Assembly Speaker, Craig Coughlin, everybody. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Now, we like to call this guy, this man, our visionary, our architect. He's not just a former mayor, but he's responsible for that foundation that we stand on tonight. Everybody, please give a round of applause to Assemblyman Jim Kennedy. Bald and beautiful. This next person, I told her to sit right here because I wanted a friendly face. Not just one of my favorite elected officials, but one of my favorite people. We have our very own Wonder Woman, Assemblywoman Linda Carter, everybody. Wonder Woman, wearing your pink, look at you. I think I seen our Roselle Park Mayor, Joseph Signorello here, everybody. Congratulations. I do want to recognize very quickly our Rahway Board of Education and our superintendent seated right here. If you could just wave your hand. Thank you for coming out. It's not an easy job, but you do it for the children, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. And last but not least, I do see one of my friends in the audience. I'm not sure if she's trying to sit in the cut on purpose, but we have Plainfield Council President Julian Cherry, everybody. My girl. Thank you for all being here tonight. We truly appreciate your support and your partnership, so thank you again. Now, I'd like to introduce a very special guest speaker. He is a proud Rahway High School graduate from, get this, all the way from the class of 2024. And he's a current sophomore at RU, Rutgers University. I'm a Seton Hall guy, but you can clap for that. He's now on his second year on a Division I team. He exemplifies dedication, discipline, and character both on and off the field. It is my pleasure to introduce to you, some know him as the mayor's son, I know him as RG3, and a very tall guy, Raymond Giacobbe III, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Raymond Giacobbe III. I am a proud Rahway High School graduate, class of 2024, and I'm currently a student athlete at Rutgers University. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's really special to see so many people come out for Rahway, especially on a Thursday night. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here because you care about the city and its future. As someone who loves this community, and as someone who has a very close-up view of what leadership truly looks like, I can honestly say we are in very good hands. Growing up, I learned quickly that leadership isn't about titles or speeches. It's about showing up, taking responsibility, doing the hard work, facing problems even when it's uncomfortable, and leading by example. At home, my father has always been my number one fam. Along with my mom, he raised my sister Annabella and me while also carrying the responsibility of serving as mayor of this great city. Somehow, he managed to be the best dad I could have ever asked for without ever losing sight of his commitment to Rahway. I watched him take every decision seriously, listen to people with different opinions, and never forget who he truly works for, my mom. I'm just kidding. It's you, the citizens of Rahway. My sister and I could not have asked for a better example. No matter how busy he was, my dad was always present, coaching our teams, never missing a birthday or an important moment, and always showing up for our family and our friends. He has always been understanding, compassionate, and willing to go out of his way to help someone in need. He's a man who believes deeply in his community and the people who make this city a special place. That belief drives everything he does. You can see it in the time, energy, and heart he puts into Rahway. Because of him, I try to carry those same values with me every day, in the classroom, on the field, and how I treat other people, leading with integrity, respect, compassion, courage, and resilience. He's a very special person in my eyes, and it's truly an honor to introduce him this evening. And now, please join me in welcoming my hero, your mayor, Mayor Raymond Giacobbe.
Man, that's going to be a tough act to follow. Good evening, everyone. And welcome to Rahway's State of the City 2026, hosted here at the beautiful Union County Performing Arts Center. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Council members, community partners, and most importantly, the residents of Rahway. Before I go any further tonight, I want to take a moment and thank the people who make it possible for me to do this job. My family. To my wife, Laura, thank you for always believing in me and supporting my dreams. You always carry yourself with grace, and you never let me forget why service matters. And to tell the truth, Laura serves here right in the city of Rahway as well, on the Rahway Board of Education. She shows up every day for your kids in our schools with the same passion and commitment, because she believes deeply that the future of this city is shaped in the classroom long before it's shaped in City Hall. And through the Bella Kind Foundation, she has helped build something that lifts young people up and puts kindness into action, not just words. All of it honoring the life and memory of my daughter, Annabella Marie Giacobbe. I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm grateful for you, and I'm a better man because of you. To my daughter Annabella, even though you are no longer with us, your legacy lives on through your family and loved ones. And everyone whose life you touched, you showed me and so many others that compassion, understanding, and kindness truly have the power to change lives for the better. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. And I hold on to the hope that one day I will see you again. And to my son, Raymond, what an amazing introduction, huh? Wow. I better watch out. He's gonna be coming for my spot in a couple years. 20 years ago, I was given the greatest gift and responsibility of my life, the privilege of being your father. I'm proud of the man you're becoming. Keep learning, keep growing, and never forget who you are and where you come from. I truly believe you're destined for success in whatever you choose to do. Keep chopping. I also want to take a moment to recognize my mother, Gina, because so much of who I am today is because of her. She showed me by example what it truly means to be a great parent, leading with love, compassion, and discipline. even when it was hard. She taught me to be selfless with the people who matter most and to never lose sight of what's truly important in life: family. But more than anything, she taught me how to face whatever life throws at you with strength, resilience, and grace. I credit everything I've accomplished to the values she's instilled in me, and I carry those lessons with me every single day. Love you, Mom. And to the rest of my family who I couldn't possibly list, thank you for your support, for the lessons, and for the love that makes public service possible. I'm blessed to have you in my life. Thank you. I'm also grateful for this moment because the State of the City address isn't an update. It's a chance to come together, take stock of our journey, and ask, who are we, what have we accomplished, and what kind of city are we becoming? I'm honored to stand before you today as your mayor, but I also stand here as someone Rahway helped shape. Because, as many of you know, I grew up right here in this city. I know Rahway the way you know a hometown, by the places that raised you, the streets you learned to drive on, the parks where you learned to compete, the neighborhoods where you met fellow residents who became family, the city you remember from one chapter of your life, and the city you're proud to see becoming something truly remarkable. And tonight, we gather at a special time in our nation's history. The year 2026 marks America's 250th anniversary, and Rahway isn't just a place that watched history happen, we were a part of it. We sat between British-controlled Perth Amboy and the Patriot towns to the west. Local militia under General William Maxwell helped defend this region. There were skirmishes along St. George Avenue near the Rahway River, and the historical 1777 clash known as the Battle of Spanktown. That history reminds us that progress is never accidental. It's built by people who show up, stand firm, and keep moving forward. Right now, the city is planning a full slate of commemorative events with enhanced celebrations around Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Veterans Day. I invite every resident and every family to come experience it and be a part of this celebration. And I'll tell you why that matters to me. I'll tell you why these events matter to me. Rahway is home. This isn't a line I say. It's a lens that I see through. I'm not governing a place on the map. I'm governing streets I've walked, parks I've played in, neighborhoods I know like the back of my hand. And that's why tonight, I don't want to just share with you what we've done. I want to share why it matters. Before I do that, I want to take a moment to recognize our Rahway City Council, because the work I'm about to speak about only happens when an entire team stays focused on what residents need. But the best progress happens when we do what Rahway does best: work as one team, have the conversations, and then deliver. Let me give you a clear example. When the Rahway Public Library had immediate operational needs, we didn't posture, we acted. Together, this governing body approved a shared service agreement so the city could step in with ongoing support by maintaining and repairing the facility and also investing in large capital improvement projects that keep our library safe, functional, and reliable. And we are committed to making that support long-term. That's the kind of partnership I'm proud of: practical, responsive, and built to last. Because this government works for the people. I would also like to recognize the volunteers who serve on our boards and commissions. Thank you for helping guide the decisions that shape our city and keep Rahway moving forward. And I want to recognize the team that makes this progress possible: our department heads and city leaders. These are the people doing the work every single day. These are my teammates. I also want to recognize our business administrator, Matt Pukovich. Since stepping into the role this past July, Matt has done an outstanding job leading our local government. His no-nonsense, get-things-done approach is exactly the type of leadership we need. Our shared goal is simple: run an effective, efficient government that delivers real results for the people of Rahway. 2 kids from the city of Rahway now entrusted with the responsibility of leading it. Pretty cool. I look forward to continuing this work together, Matt, for a very long time. And I also want to say this clearly to all of my city employees, no matter your title, your department, or your role. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The day-to-day work of this city runs on the people who answer the calls, do their job, respect the work, and don't take it for granted. All these people are on my team. They show up early, stay late, solve problems before most people even see them, and they do it with pride and professionalism. Rahway runs because you make it run, and I am grateful for each and every one of you. All right, everyone still with me? All right. Don't be a long one. No. So now, let me walk through the 6 pillars, one by one, and tell you not just what we've done, but why it matters. Infrastructure is the part of city government most people don't think about, perhaps until something goes wrong. For me, it's extremely important, because these aren't just projects. They're travel routes of our daily life. The sidewalks our kids use to get to school, the streets our seniors use to cross the street to get to the pharmacy, the roads we travel before the sun comes up. Here are a few highlights I am especially proud of. We have completed more than 100 capital improvement projects across roads, parks, utilities, flood control improvements, and waterway maintenance. We continue to attack flooding by removing blockages along local waterways and repairing floodgates along the levee to reduce flood risk. And regarding flood insurance, eligible residents currently receive a 15% discount through FEMA's community rating system. And we will continue our efforts to increase those discounts. And that matters. Got myself a cup this year. Safe and reliable roadways are one of our top priorities. Since 2018, we have repaved 30 miles of Rahway's 75 miles of streets. We've installed 4-way stops and other traffic calming efforts to make sure our streets are safe for drivers and pedestrians alike. And we will continue that progress in 2026. Water is another priority. In 2021, we launched the Water Quality Insurance Initiative, and we are on track to replace all lead service lines by 2027, 4 years ahead of the federal and state mandate. Because proactive government matters. At the last City Council meeting, we provided a public update on the future of our water utility. After further consideration and continued discussion with members of the City Council and community stakeholders, I have decided to recommend for our council to cancel the receipt of bids for the sale of the water utility. I knew some of you would like that. This decision will allow my administration, our city council, community leaders, stakeholders, and residents the time needed to fully understand the challenges we face and the long-term implications of any decision. This action gives us time to move forward thoughtfully, further grounded in transparency and trust. I am confident that by working together, we will arrive at the best path forward for the city of Rahway. Now let's talk about infrastructure you'll see and enjoy. In the heart of our downtown, the East Cherry Streetscape project will make one of our city's most popular streets safer, more accessible, and more welcoming for residents and businesses. We're not just upgrading the street, we're creating East Cherry Street Park on a site once slated for more apartments. That wasn't our vision. Our vision is a truly accessible park that welcomes everyone and supports our downtown. At this, oh, couldn't see that. At this moment, I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Joanna Miles. Joanna is a familiar face downtown and on Cherry Street, and who spearheaded this initiative. She has been a steadfast advocate of improvements that make our city more accessible and more vibrant. Thank you, Joanna. But wait, there's more. The Paseo will be renovated with improved lighting, seating, and public space enhancements. This will bring our downtown and our nightlife fully alive. And beginning mid-2026, we will install wayfinding signs to help residents and visitors navigate our city more easily. If you came in through the front door, you saw an example of one of them. They're beautiful, they're big, and I can't wait to see them installed. And for pet owners like myself, a new dog park, fully funded through a $500,000 Union County grant. And this will open in mid-2026. I can't wait to take Kobe and Gia there. Shout out to Joe Podak, absolutely. Shout out, well, Council President beat me to the punch. I want to thank the Union County Board of Commissioners for their continuous support of our great city. Your partnership means the world to us. That's what responsible infrastructure looks like. Partnerships and steady investment that will improve daily life block by block. The second pillar is about how a city grows and progresses. Make no mistake, Rahway is a model, and cities across New Jersey look at what we've built and studied how we've done it. Rahway's foundation is transit-oriented development and a community energized by the arts, a vision championed by former mayor and current assemblyman Jim Kennedy. Redevelopment projects around our train station to create a city where people can live, work, and walk. That vision transformed this city, and our responsibility is to move it forward with discipline. And discipline means this: shaping growth so it strengthens Rahway long-term, not chasing every proposal, not building just to build, but making sure redevelopment works for the people who already call this place home. That's why we've been clear about what comprehensive redevelopment means in Rahway now. It doesn't mean tackling 2 or 3 lots at a time. It means taking on areas, entire areas, and planning them thoughtfully, coordinating infrastructure, access, and making sure the end result works for the residents, businesses, and neighborhoods for the long haul. Here are some results that show that discipline in action. The 329 New Brunswick Avenue project will bring approximately 300,000 square feet of non-residential development to strengthen our tax base. This is the largest non-residential redevelopment project in recent history. We expanded our brownfield development area to include 767 Leesville Avenue, positioning the city for state funding for remediation and long-term redevelopment opportunities. Expanding the BDA gives us the funding to responsibly clean up contamination. The Monroe Street redevelopment project will deliver over 200 new residential units in 2 phases. Another example of comprehensive redevelopment and cleaning up entire areas. When I came into office, that developer planned on throwing an apartment building basically on a few lots. My instruction to him was that if you want to develop this project, we were going to develop the entire block, because that's what comprehensive redevelopment means to me. But redevelopment isn't just about adding housing. It's about protecting what we already have, especially affordable housing. By extending their pilot agreement, we preserved 288 affordable housing units at the Rahway Plaza to protect residents from displacement. I cannot stress the negative impact that would have had on our residents and the community as a whole. We supported state funding for Rosegate Senior Housing to preserve and rehabilitate affordable senior units. And the Estabrook Senior Affordable Housing Development will include approximately 58 ADA-compliant units with a community room, fitness room, and an on-site social service and health office. Groundbreaking is targeted for 2026 because our seniors deserve the best. And in case you guys didn't catch on with the theme yet, that matters. And I want to stay here for a second to talk about seniors. I don't see seniors as a demographic. I see them as the people who raised our community, the people who looked out for me, and who still to this very day, every time I see them, ask, "How's your family doing?" That's special to me. Another thing that is very special to me is this next project. Construction is underway to transform Glendenning Homes into modern, high-quality, affordable housing. In December 2025, we broke ground on a complete transformation, replacing outdated housing with modern, high-quality homes built to market rate standards while maintaining long-term affordability. That's not just redevelopment, that's growth that respects the people who live here. I'd like to recognize and thank the partners who have helped move this project forward. Jen Wenson Mayer, Executive Director of the Rahway Housing Authority and the Rahway Housing Authority Board. Thank you for your hard work and dedication on this project. And because a thriving city doesn't just happen through development alone, we've strengthened the day-to-day work of our Special Improvement District. The Rahway Downtown Strategic Plan guides our CID long-term direction. Vacant storefronts have been reduced by 50% since 2022. And through its facade and business improvement programs, the CID has distributed nearly $300,000 in forgivable loans to strengthen local businesses. And I'll tell you why that matters. Because every time one of those vacant signs come down, a new sign goes up, it's more than just a business opening. It's a signal that Rahway is open for business. That's how we grow the right way, strengthening Rahway's future while protecting the people who already live here. If infrastructure is the foundation and redevelopment is the framework, then arts and culture are the spirit. A city is not only defined by what it builds, it's defined by what it inspires. I am proud that Rahway's story is being shaped by the arts, on our walls, in our parks, and on our stages. Because art brings people together across neighborhoods and generations. Here are a few moments that reflect that spirit. Since 2024, Rahway has hosted 3 international travel exhibits. During Black History Month of 2024, we hosted the Harriet Tubman Beacon of Hope Monument. In 2025, we hosted the Black Wings exhibit at the Gallery Space, honoring African American aviators. And in October, we went to outer space by hosting the Museum of the Moon, a breathtaking 23-foot wide moon installation suspended right here inside the Union County Performing Arts Center. For 17 days, our downtown filled with events that brought new energy and new attention to Rahway's creative community. I want everyone to take a second and just look around at this beautiful theater that we're sitting in today. This is a special place for the city of Rahway, and it's a special place to me as well. This is where my grandparents met many, many years ago. And tonight, I'm standing on that same stage as your mayor. So come down, see a show. You might even meet your soulmate. Odds are you'll probably just see a really good show, but hey, you never know. Our public art initiative is something that I'm also very proud of, turning everyday streets into welcoming, uplifting places. We now feature more than 25,000 square feet of murals throughout our city. Landmarks like the River Goddess, Innovators, Peruvian Heritage, and Greeting from Rahway murals have become part of Rahway's identity. Through public art, we are also honoring who we are. Our newly renovated MLK Park now features a reflective monument honoring Dr. King's legacy. A place designed not just to be seen, but to be felt. And on the year of our country's 250th anniversary, we remember those who served and those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Veterans Memorial Park will receive a full rehabilitation and a new bronze memorial because our veterans deserve the best. We will also continue our efforts enhancing our smaller pocket parks. The Rahway Arts District Park will be upgraded with a vision that honors the Hispanic and Latino community. This park will reflect that culture in a broad and welcoming way, creating a space that celebrates heritage, pride, and belonging. And we are protecting the places that hold our history too. We have launched a plan for the gallery space, and so we can protect this space and understand the importance of its cultural landmark. This building isn't just a part of arts. This building is a part of the city of Rahway and its story. I want to recognize Councilman Mojica, who has championed upgrades to Veterans Memorial Park and the Rahway Arts District Park, with a vision that honors our veterans and the Hispanic and Latino community, communities that have shaped Rahway's identity for generations. Public art isn't just something you look at. It helps the city feel seen, welcomed, and proud. Because in Rahway, culture isn't an extra. It's a part of who we are. The next pillar is about quality of life. Our parks, our programs, and our public health efforts. Now, I want to talk about something that hits home for a lot of us. The places, the programs that shape our daily life, our community wellness, recreation, senior services, and health. Here are a few highlights that show what that looks like in action. Over the past several years, we've completed 5 major park improvements with sensory-friendly components, including the entire Madden Field complex, where we hosted the first annual Mayor's Cup basketball tournament, a true community celebration. Let me tell you why that matters. I don't see Madden Field as a line item. I see it as a memory. I see a kid learning confidence one game at a time. I see it as a coach spending quality time with his kids. I see friends becoming brothers. I see the kind of community pride you feel in your chest when your neighborhood shows up for a Rahway High School football game. And that's why it matters. We've also installed brand new pickleball courts and new children's play area at Tully Field, further expanding the range. My wife was happy about the pickleball courts. So is Judy. You guys are messing me up. Further expanding the range of recreational opportunities available to families throughout Rahway. One of the things I'm most proud of is the way we honor and celebrate our senior community. I'm especially proud of our senior transportation program, which I initiated in 2020. Independence often depends on a reliable ride, and to date, it has provided more than 55,000 rides and covered over 135,000 miles. Absolutely. We are also expanding bilingual senior programming, including Spanish to English classes and increased outreach to ensure greater inclusion. And we're not standing still. We're continually adding, creating more opportunities, more programs, and more ways to stay connected. Because we want Rahway to be a place where seniors don't just live, they thrive. That deserves a round of applause. Now, let's talk about a very important department that doesn't always get the recognition it deserves. Since 2023, our health department has conducted over 1,200 sanitary inspections to protect public health, with strong results. 99.8% of our businesses achieved full compliance after final inspection. Partly because we expanded food handler and management training in both English and Spanish, training over 189 food workers. We have provided vaccines to 677 children through the Vaccine for Children program. Our drug prevention program has reached more than 500 sixth grade students since 2024, and we hope to expand on that in 2026. And this year, we'll be launching a new mobile health trailer to bring services directly into neighborhoods. These services matter to the health of our community. And let's not forget our expungement clinics, led by Council President Jeff Brooks. Rahway is a city that believes in second chances, and I can't stress enough how important these programs are. And I want to thank Councilman Brooks for championing them and for his continued commitment to building a healthier, more equitable, more sustainable community. Thank you, Council President. This is how we build a city where people of every age can live well, stay connected, and feel valued. Public safety isn't a slogan, it's a promise. It's the confidence that when someone calls 911, help is already on the way. It's the work that happens long before a crisis. When something goes wrong, Rahway shows up every single time. Our firefighters have been tested, and they've delivered. The fire department does not just respond to fires, they respond to emergencies of all kinds. Public safety also depends on trust, and I am proud of the professionalism that our Rahway Police Department continues to demonstrate while protecting and serving our community. Here are a few examples of that commitment. We saw firsthand when a major flood hit Rahway in July of 2025, Rahway's bravest carried out over 100 rescues in an 8-hour period. Our department also proudly participates in mutual aid, providing critical support to our neighboring municipalities. And just last month, they assisted Roselle Park during a major fire. Mayor Cigarello reached out and thanked me and thanked the department. He went on to say that our firefighters were well-trained and extremely professional, and that matters. I want to thank the RFD for representing Rahway the way you do. Big round of applause, please. And just this week, they saved lives right here in Rahway. Tragically, we did lose one of our residents in that fire, and I ask that you please keep their family and loved ones in your thoughts and prayers. This is why we are investing in a new fire engine, a new water truck, and more training, because training matters. And they represent our community beyond emergencies. During Fire Prevention Month, our firefighters visit every school and preschool, reaching more than 1,000 students with life-saving lessons. The Rahway Police Department is here to protect and serve our community. They are highly trained professionals who show up every day to keep our community safe. And here's what safe community policing looks like. Rahway Police earned official accreditation from the New Jersey State Association of Chief of Police. Our police department includes 85 sworn officers, including 23 who are bilingual, to make sure that communication is never an issue. In 2025 alone, officers completed more than 5,000 hours of professional training. We've expanded our drone program and implemented drones as first responder technology. Faster assessments equals safer results. We have modernized our body-worn camera program with Axon Body 4 cameras to strengthen accountability. We've invested in 3 new ambulances to strengthen EMS reliability, because when you call 911, minutes feel like hours, and a fast response could mean the difference between life or death. And that matters. I am proud to say now that Rahway has become the first department in Union County to bring state-approved Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training in-house, focused on leverage, composure, and control, so more encounters can be resolved through technique and de-escalation. Public safety in Rahway is not just a response. It's about preparation, professionalism, and trust. And I want to thank all of our first responders from the bottom of my heart for protecting our city every day and every night. Now, the final pillar for tonight, the Department of Public Works. That's right, the team that keeps the lights on, the streets clean, and the city moving forward. Rahway DPW keeps Rahway running every day, and their work goes far beyond routine service. If you want to understand how a city really runs, wake up early and see who's already working. The DPW is. Here's a few examples of what that work looked like. Our sanitation team makes approximately 1.5 million curbside stops a year. Think about that, 1.5 million. DPW maintains 87 parks and city properties across roughly 70 acres. Crews use about 80 tons of blacktop annually to repair our streets. And let's not forget snow removal. We've been hit hard this winter, but our DPW has responded. We renewed our regional Bryan agreement with neighboring towns to strengthen winter operations while remaining fiscally responsible. And more than 100 new trees were planted in 2025, and we will continue those tree planting efforts in 2026. Bellakine Foundation has generously donated 50 trees to our city, and we look forward to planting them with the girls in the near future. I hope you don't think I'm digging all those holes. We continue investing in our DPW with new sanitary trucks and modern equipment, so workers can do their job with safe, reliable equipment. And I want you to understand something. They're out there in all weather doing essential work for our city, and their safety matters. So I'm asking every resident, slow down, give our crew space, and remember that that one small choice can prevent serious injury. This pillar is about everyday results: clean streets, reliable service, safer streets, and a city that works every day in every neighborhood. So, we're at the end of the pillars, and I want to thank you for your attention and your patience tonight, and I appreciate the opportunity to get to walk you through all of this. It's important to understand that this is an overview, basically the highlights, because there's so much more that we cannot possibly fit into one night. If we tried, we'd be here till tomorrow. And we've edited this speech about 6 times, so we didn't have you guys here for 2 hours. Before I close tonight, I invite you to watch a short video that showcases the people, the places, and the progress you've helped make possible. Please direct your attention to the screen for a few moments, and then I'll be right back to wrap this up with some very exciting, forward-looking news you won't want to miss. what it takes to keep Rahway moving forward. Safer streets, better access, stronger city. Rahway is a model for a steadier future. Rahway's culture turns our downtown into a destination. More ways to stay active and connected. Work that keeps Rahway running every day. Rahway all day. Progress isn't accidental, it's built. Keep Rahway moving forward. So, finally, the end. Thank you again for joining me to talk about the city we call home. Tonight, you've heard the pillars, you've heard the facts, you see what this team is building, step by step, block by block, year by year. But a state of the city isn't only about looking back, it's about looking forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose. And the phrase I want to leave you with is simple. Keep Rahway moving forward. Not as a slogan, as a standard. Because moving forward doesn't mean moving fast. It means moving smart. It means building a city that works for families, seniors, small businesses, newcomers, and for the people who've been here long enough to remember every version of these streets. We're not just building more, we're building better. And that brings me to what's next. In the months ahead, we will be laying the groundwork for a new performing arts project near Hamilton Stage, the James Jim Kennedy Amphitheater, a project that will become a crown jewel of our arts district. My good friend Jim has championed the arts in Rahway for decades, since I was a kid. Sorry, Jim McField. Under his administration, this very building was transformed into the beautiful space we enjoy tonight. There is no more fitting tribute than naming this amphitheater in his honor. At this time, I ask Jim to please stand and be recognized. This isn't just a stage, it's a statement about who we are. This will be an outdoor performance space designed to enhance our arts district. Hamilton Stage, UC PAC, and the gallery space, connecting them into one continuous creative district where the arts can thrive and be a part of our daily life. I want to thank the Union County Board of Commissioners for making a substantial financial commitment to the support of the land acquisition phase. Their partnership allows us to move forward responsibly. And I'm proud of why we're doing this. Years ago, a developer approached me with a proposal to build apartments on that site, and I said no. Instead of overbuilding, we created something that adds value without adding strain. The amphitheater will be environmentally friendly and sustainable, paired with amazing amenities like an art walk and flood mitigation features such as a rain garden to manage water responsibly. That's what moving forward looks like. Arts, sustainability, smart planning, and working together. At the same time, we're setting a clear next goal for Rahway's economic strength. You've heard tonight about balance, about building a city that doesn't rely on just one kind of project. And the next chapter of that balance is focused on non-residential redevelopment. We will turn part of our focus to the Milton Ave, Pierce Street, Fulton Street site. And I am excited about what it can become for the city's future. That project connects directly to another priority, renovating our train station plaza. This area should feel like one of the most welcoming gateways to Rahway, more pedestrian-friendly, more inviting, and worthy of a city that has transformed the way we have. The goal is to create a true centerpiece with space for outdoor events, small performances that reflect the energy of Rahway, and you're going to know you're in Rahway the second you step off that train station. As we look forward, we continue planning for every generation. Tonight you heard about Estherbrook, and we're not stopping there. We are actively exploring locations for additional senior affordable housing because more residents deserve the ability to stay close to the community they love. We are also exploring opportunities to include additional senior event space in future developments. Because housing matters, but connection matters just as much. So when I say keep Rahway moving forward, here's what I mean. Balanced growth, residential and non-residential. An arts district that becomes a regional destination. Public spaces that are welcoming, walkable, and alive. Planning that honors our history and protects our future. When I say Rahway is the model, I mean people are paying attention, and they should. Cities across New Jersey are studying what we've done, how we've planned, how we've partnered, and how we follow through. That's not something I take lightly. It's a responsibility to keep raising the standard. So let me say this plainly. I'm not asking you to believe in a promise. I'm asking you to look at the record. Because leadership isn't a speech. Leadership is what happens after the speech. It's the work that continues the next morning. The meetings, the planning, the execution, and the follow-through. And that's what you get from me. That's what you get from myself and the City Council. And as long as I have the honor of serving you as mayor, I will keep showing up, staying steady, and pushing Rahway forward. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for believing in this city. And let's keep Rahway moving forward together. God bless everyone. Good night and get home safely.